making another video on my ST. Oh, he's gonna go uphill as well, you little bastard. Fucking hell. Fucking traffic. Oh, we'll get past him. Oh, little fart there. I made a video back in the summer and yeah, so I tried making one with my iPhone instead of my cheap Chinese GoPro. Listen. Oh, come on. You're trying to make a video on a performance car and you get stuck behind Noddy and Big Ears and they see it, whatever it is. Let's see if I can buy them. There's a brilliant tunnel up here. Let's see. Right, let's go. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. That's with traction control on. I'm going to leave it on. This road is really greasy. Roads issues are not very good. Hopefully we can get through this tunnel. It's just going to... Oh, there's something coming! This is going to be filtered down so much by the traction control. I don't know where all these people come from. We're in the middle of nowhere. Right. No point giving it in first. Stay there, you cunt. Yeah, traction control. Never mind. Yeah, so I bought this car back in May. Didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I had to sell my motorbike because my missus seen my GoPro videos on my laptop and that didn't go down very well. So I sold the bike. I had a Disco 2, I sold that and started looking at STs. Purely because I met a guy in Tesco's car park ages ago and he had a ST tuned and he also had an Integrale and he had various other cars and he said the ST was more fun than any of them put together. So hunting high and low for STs and this one came up about 10 minutes from where I live. Went over and had a look at it. The guy took me out in it and I bought it. Fell in love with it straight away. Performance blue, 100,000 miles on the clock. Pretty much full service history. I think he was only the third owner as well. But when I got the car back, I mean, it went lovely, but the exhaust manifold went. So if you ever get a squealing, high pitch squealing noise under the bonnet, a lot of the time it's the exhaust manifold, no matter what vehicle it is. So I knew I had to get that done. And I'd also heard about the crack liners and the block modification. So I had a look around at who did the block mod. I kind of thought about getting a local garage to do it, and then I thought, well, it's better off letting it be done by a specialist. So I started hunting around on the internet. I found BD Performance on YouTube. I thoroughly recommend them. I haven't used them, and give their YouTube videos a good look as well. They are true professionals and they like a bit of fun. There was another guy down Plymouth. I watched some of his videos. They didn't show any mechanical content in their videos really, and he seemed to like the sound of his own voice, so I didn't bother ringing them. But closest to me was Devil Developments. So I rang them and booked it in. I had about a 6-week waiting list. So in that time I got a decap pipe and an oxygen sensor spacer, a D-res pipe, and an AirTech intercooler. It already had a forge dump valve and a ram air induction kit. So yeah, I fitted all of that, and then we headed off down to Devil Developments, and got down there 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Yeah. So obviously I couldn't work on the car for a while because it was hot. And anyway, you're not allowed in the workshop. They're not really sure for people to be in the workshop. They've got a little waiting room, but yeah, I sort of sat in there. I could see them doing the block mod and that, and I mean, these guys there, I think they could probably do block mod in their sleep, to be honest with you. Yeah, so, and while it was there, they put up the dyno. So, AirTech, ram air, AirTech intercooler ram air, and the exhaust bits and pieces. It made 238 horsepower, and which way should we go? Where are we all going? And it made 268 foot-pound. Nope. Thank you. Software. So I said, I'll go for a stage 1, and they actually persuaded me, and they were right, go straight for stage 2. And that's what we did. So we put her back on the dyno, and yeah, impressive to say the least. She made 291 horsepower, and the most impressive thing was this thing has got so much torque. It's got 360 foot-pounds of torque. Literally, this car will pull off from idle in 3rd gear, and it will not bother it in the slightest. I've done it twice by mistake now. Yeah, it pulls like a train. So, yeah, I had that done, drove it back, and I was just so impressed. I love this thing. It's just amazing. So much fun. I can't recommend it enough. Value for money. I mean, I paid $3,500 for the car. Virtually full service history. I mean, I think it's been pretty well looked after. I think it's even on its original set of drive shafts. There are Ford ones, and they do look the same age as the car. I might be wrong. Yeah. What have I done on it otherwise since I've done a transmission oil change? Yeah, that's a bit. Oh, I painted the plastic surrounds and grills in satin black to get rid of the grey. I think that's a big improvement in looks. Yeah. So yeah, I'm saying £3,500 for the car. 300 quid for the intercooler. 35 quid for the decap. 10 quid for the spacer. The oxygen sensor spacer does improve. Not putting on the EML, but it still comes on after a while, and this still comes on this one even with the remap, even though they said I had a delete on it for the oxygen sensor. So yeah, and then the block mod is they do is they put these shims in between the barrels, and apparently this makes them a lot stronger. I know there is other things you can do. I think it's something called, dart and liners or something like that. They pretty much turn it into a closed deck block, but you're talking thousands of pounds then. I know there was a firm called Barham Engines. They're on YouTube. They do some really interesting videos. He seems like a great guy. He says, in his opinion, the block mod puts the cylinders out of line. I know BD Performance wouldn't agree with that. So, yeah, I suppose it's worth doing. It's not the horsepower, it's the torque of the blooming thing. It just pulls whatever gear in. Sixth gear now, it's just rocketing. It's just great fun. One of my mates has got an Escort Cosworth. It's 400 horsepower, 400 foot-pound of torque. Obviously worth a lot of money. And he was telling me that his mate had a standard ST, and they were on the twisties on the way to Castle Coombe for a track day, and he had a job to keep up with him. That's a 400 horsepower Cosy Escort. I know Oak Ridge, which I'd rather have is the Escort, but I'd probably sell them by the Focuses. Yeah, so if you want a cheap power, even in standard form, they go like stink anyway. I can't recommend enough a Focus ST. And people go on about the crap blocks and the drawer shafts, but come on, every car I've ever owned, or every vehicle, there's always been something on it that could possibly go wrong. So, you know, one of my mates is a really top class mechanic. He said, don't worry about it, just buy it, enjoy it, and when it goes wrong, we'll scrap it and sort it out. Obviously, you know, when you're going to look at these cars, it does pay to, you know, have a good delve into the history. And yeah, I can say myself, I mean, I've looked at this car and it looks like it's been pretty well looked after, to be fair. Farmer and a Focus.